Hello and welcome to Prepare with Baer, the third time I've ever done something like this. This is a cooking stream. I am in my kitchen here in South Carolina. First and foremost, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can apply those moats. I apologize. I'm using my left hand instead of my right hand for the mouse because no good place for my mouse here. But yeah, if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave Lego site, the moat in the chat. Let the people know you're here. Harold, I already saw, was tweeting before, is here. Lashbrick is also here. Welcome, welcome. We're going to kill a little time here in the intro. Allow people to be fashionably late for this cooking stream. Also give my oven time to preheat because it does take a while. I started it before the stream, but I didn't want to start it too early. Anyway, why am I doing this? Well, I kind of always imagined that I would do a cooking streams. I should have done them in New York. I only had one roommate at the time. I should have set up in my kitchen. I never did. I regret that. But my folks are out of town for basically the end of January and all of February, and I can be in the kitchen without disturbing them. I can also set up in the kitchen hours before the stream, which I needed to get all this together, without worrying them, which is nice. So yeah, so I'm here in the kitchen. You can see the fridge behind me. You can see a little bit back there. And we'll be just kind of in the prep station right next to the oven. We're directly next to the oven where I'll be doing all my prep for tonight. We will be making sausage balls, which is a recipe I've never done before, but I'm excited to do it. I've eaten them before, and I got this recipe from the person who I had sausage balls at a party around Christmas time. And then we will be also working on, to accompany them, I guess, twice baked potatoes. Now, for the first time ever in Prepare with Bear, I have cheated a little bit. Because these are twice baked potatoes, I already baked them once. I baked them for an hour at 350 degrees. I'll mention it when we get there later. They just need to be prepped into being twice bakes. They're already baked once. But it didn't make any sense for me to like have them going during the stream and then like wait an hour and then like as they're fucking piping hot cut them. That didn't make any sense. So I did do some prep. I didn't do the whole like get things together and then show you like what it's done kind of like cooking thing, but it is closer to that than anything I've ever done before. Let me just check something real quick here. I do have my computer set up in the kitchen, which is weird. I originally thought of going with my laptop, but one of my USB ports in the laptop isn't working right now, and I needed two webcams because I could have used the onboard webcam, but it just wasn't going to make any sense. And I definitely, even if I didn't, I was going to need the mouse. And so I really needed like all my ports to work. So, since that didn't, I was like, forget it. I'm just going to, bring the laptop out or bring the computer out. Had to take the third monitor off of my monitor stand. So I'm only using two, monitors right now, which is bonkers. What am I even doing? And yeah, I've had the computer in the kitchen all day, which is weird. Before we get into actual cooking and getting the prep ready, I'll bring it up because I'm sure somebody probably noticed it, or at least noticed Twitter's response to it. There was a bring back League of Heels sign during tonight's AEW. Which is awesome. That is so fun that someone decided to make that sign and bring it with them, and then what you could just see it on television. Are we bringing back League of Heels anytime soon? No plans to do that because that would require going to a convention, and I don't want to go to a convention. Now, could Aaron decide to do it? Yes. Is it more likely that I will decide to go to a convention sometime in the next 2 years and put up the show? Is it more likely that I would do that over Aaron Trites, the man that runs his own business where he has only one other employee? It's way more likely that I'll do it than Aaron would. It's likely that Aaron would come to one, but I would be the person putting it up. And I don't want to go to PAX East. I'm not going to PAX East. I'll make that announcement now. You heard it here first. I'm not going to PAX East this year. I thought about it in December. I got really excited about going. And then Omicron happened, and there will be less incidents in April. But the idea of planning a convention trip which you have to do right now, I don't want to do that. Now, could I make an appearance at PAX West in September? Maybe. Could there be League of Heels there? Possibly. Am I even going to make the considerations right now for that? Not really. But yeah, so that's the update. We're not bringing League of Heels back anytime soon, probably. I would love to, but I mean, it's just less likely than anything else. What do we got going on here? I think I'm gonna retweet my tweet, and then we're gonna get started. And then if more people come, that would be great. If we don't get a big turnout, that's a shame, but we'll have fun. We'll make do. Let's get to cooking. This is a cooking stream. This isn't me talking about more tomorrow about the whole League of Heels thing. That'll be some good conversation while we build model kits tomorrow. But right now, okay, yeah, that is definitely getting some retweets and people talking about it. If you ever did bring back League of Heels, I would be more than willing to help in any way possible, including the use of my N64, which I appreciate that. Didn't see that sign. Yeah, Lashbrook, it is, let me see if I can see the photo there. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. Welcome. Yeah. They bring back League of Heels. And again, I wouldn't mind doing it, but probably not for a while. As in December, thought I definitely was going to in April. Saw myself doing it in April, but there's just a lot of people who would have to also want to go to PAX in April, and I don't see that happening. So I'm not gonna. Anyway, we're not here for that. We're here for cooking. It's time to get into it. So what are we working on here? First, we're working on sausage balls, and we're gonna prep that first. So let's go to the overhead. Here's the overhead. Hello, welcome. We got our mixing bowl here. We got our cutting board because we're going to be doing a lot of cheese. We got to do a lot of cheddar cheese. But we got this bowl first because sausage balls. The recipe will be in the show description of the YouTube archive, but I'll say it now. We are going to be combining 1 pound of ground pork sausage. You can see there. 2 cups of Bisquick or equivalent. 2 cups shredded cheese. 1 teaspoon of a seasoning, and I'll say what seasoning we're going to use when we get there. Salt and pepper to taste, and then you're going to need cooking spray for the pan that you're going to be putting in there. You're going to put it into a 350-degree oven for how long we're doing that? 25 minutes. So the bowl is going to be a mixing bowl to get our stuff together. I am immediately going to be putting this meat directly in the bowl because I want to, even though other ingredients are going to go into this, I want to keep this meat away from this cutting board. In fact, we'll just go and move that over here because I want this cutting board to not touch raw meat as much as possible. So can we do this with this way they want me to do it? No, that's really on there. Well, that's good. So you see the foot pedal switcher Elgato's selling. Yes, I did see that. I didn't look into it too much. That would certainly possibly be very interesting for me. I do have the Stream Deck Mini, which you can see right there. And I do make use of that, switching between the overhead and the different things and hitting some buttons as well. Also, my record is on there now because that is just convenient. All right, so I've used a knife here just to kind of get this open. Made sure not to touch the meat with said knife. And then we're just going to shove all this pork in here. We will get our hands dirty with this pork in a bit, but I'm going to try to avoid touching raw meat until because I'm going to get into doing cheese. So there we go. Package in there. I do have a bowl for trash, so we'll be putting that in the trash bowl, and then we'll put this aside because we are going to get there. They did add Discord controls to this Stream Deck, which is great. Yes, I did see that as well, and that's cool. I have to look into that. I didn't look into either of those things right now, but I did see those announcements. Okay, so now we're going to get into cheese because here's what's fun. We need 2 cups of cheese for this recipe, and we need 1 cup of cheese for our twice-baked potatoes. So we're going to do 3 cups of cheese right now. So we'll just get this going here. And we're just going to be grating. It doesn't really matter. This is cheese I already had. This is extra sharp cheddar cheese that I was already using for snacking and cooking. So I'm figured I might as well start with that. I believe I have enough blocks of cheddar. If I don't, I have pre-shredded cheese, which I don't like to use for baking. This is an important thing. I actually use that for if you saw a photo of the meatloaf I made this week, I used some of this pre-shredded packaged cheese on it. It didn't actually melt on top. It was in the oven for an hour at 350, and that cheese didn't melt. It's fine if you want to like put it in like an omelet or something, but if you're putting it in like a baked, something you're putting in the oven, it's not the same as actually shredding your own cheese. So I definitely would recommend you just get a block of cheese and do that. So I think I have enough, but I can also augment that with by adding some of it, and it won't affect things too much. My preference would be to put it in, put that cheese in these sausage balls instead of putting the twice baked potatoes. Just because it'll be more of a mixture and more of a ball in there, and it won't actually matter if it doesn't fully melt. Whereas if it's on that potato, you're really going to notice these weird, like, not melty cheese parts. We got a comment from Lashbrook. I've seen both. People mentioning both you can get foot pedals for cheaper and potentially using it for Time Crisis, and I really hope someone has done the work. Yes, I've seen a lot of people using foot pedals and not necessarily Elgato, but some of the other like Stream Deck like software, which I used for a little bit on my iPad, but I found that it's not a wired system. It's you know, you have to be on the same network, so it's not as responsive as a Stream Deck and the wired functions of that. So I have seen that there are certainly cheaper, but this one would be integrated with all the Stream Deck software immediately. So yeah, so there's there's pluses and minuses to all that. So we're just gonna get some cheese. We're gonna be very careful to not cut ourselves. I have had to do this for 2 streams before this. The last 2 prepare with bears. I have cut cheese here or use this, and I'm really hoping that I don't actually cut myself on any of this. I do have a Band-Aid if necessary, but we're just cutting up our cheese here. We're going to get the 1 cup that we need for the potatoes first, and then we'll do the other cups that we need there. I do believe I have enough blocks of cheese for this. Now that I have a Mister and a good scaler option, the only reason I still have a CRT is so I can play Time Crisis 2 on the PS2. Yes, you gotta, you know, your light guns, you gotta have a CRT for light gun games. Can't go. I mean, it doesn't work. I guess there's ways around it, but you really want that CRT. I'm sure there are solutions, but I'm sure they're not great solutions. When we get down to it here, when we're just down to nubbins, we will just use a knife here to cut up the rest of it. All right, that is going to be a cup. So that is how much we need for our potatoes. So we can put that there. Ooh, drop some frames there. Sorry about that, everybody. We are wireless. We've been wired since I moved into the Carolina room, but we are back to wireless here because I'm in the kitchen. So I do have, I am running the my computer here with the wireless card. It's working fine all day, but still, you know, could be a problem. All right, so now we got to do 2 cups that we need for this, and we'll be putting those cups into our big bowl with our pork, and then we'll be adding seasoning, salt and pepper to taste, and the Bisquick. So let's get a block of cheese out here. We'll get our Bisquick out, and we'll just cut that off there so we can get at this. We'll just cut this up here. We'll get a little shredded, and then we'll just cut up whatever this is here. It'll melt in whatever we choose to do. Okay. I believe there are a couple of solutions for newer TVs out there. Don't know how far they've come. Yeah, I don't pay attention to light gun game situations, um, and I don't have a CRT in my possession. I'm going to take a step back here, I think. I'm a little too close. Unfortunately, could not zoom out of this camera any more than I'm currently zoomed out. I am doing the best I can. This is not a great solution. Check out my Twitter if you want photos of my shenanigans with cooking. I'm going to leave the packaging on right now because it's just a little easier to grip as we go here. Yeah, this is a lot easier, and we'll just shred some cheese. Hello, welcome. We're doing some cooking. This is not generally a cooking stream, which is why the lighting is haphazard. As I said, I am too close with the camera, doing my best with it. But yeah, this is not traditionally a cooking stream, but it's fun to do. It's a good zoom shot. Yeah, I'm doing my best with that. I think the overhead's looking good, so that makes me happy. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, I mean, if I start looking at what I'm doing, all you're seeing is my head there. So it's very close. But yeah, check my Twitter out if you want photos of my setup. It's a lot. I had to do a lot to get this to work as well as it is. And we'll just do all this here. Okay, pack that in. I'll say this original recipe called for 4 cups of cheese, which to me, for 1 pound, like 4 cups of cheese to 1 pound of pork and 2 cups of Bisquick felt way too much cheese. So I have cut that in half to 2 cups, and I might be a little liberal with the cup, and I might put 2.5 cups in, but 4 cups seemed ridiculous. That just felt like a cheese ball with a pork flavoring. So I have decided to just go with the 2 cups, and I think that is going to be just fine. So, oops, this broke here. So now we'll just shred some cheese. I have a holder block, and I don't think we'll need that, but we might need some of it. We'll do okay. We already got our 1 cup for our potatoes, but it doesn't make sense to me that our twice baked potatoes are going to require half, like a fourth of the amount of cheese. So I was like, no, we're doing 2. Could I have done this before the stream started? Sure, I could have. I guess I could have done that, but I think it's more fun to do this while we're here. You can see the whole process. You can see everything from, me doing the cheese to everything else. You're going to see me kind of combine this stuff together. All right, we got 1 cup done. We're going to do our 2nd cup. Tillamook cheddar, you picked a good cheese. Yes. Yes, this is Tillamook. Hey, Aristophan. Also, hi, Aristophan. This is Tillamook. I really like this extra sharp cheddar. We also had the Cabot extra sharp, which was the first block that was already a partial. But yeah, the Tillamook cheese was good. It was also on sale the other day, so that was really nice. If you have been following my my thread of every day preparing a meal, mostly dinner, but today was lunch, I have been doing that. But because I was in here, I didn't want to cook since I was going to be doing cooking tonight. I didn't want to worry about cooking my own dinner, so I just got takeout or delivery, and I got Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it was very tasty because I don't get fried chicken much down here because neither of my folks like fried chicken. So I just bought some KFC, and it was perfectly acceptable. Totally great. So yeah, so I got KFC today, but I did make a chopped steak sandwich with provolone and peppers and a little bit, not enough peppers really, plenty of onion, but I only had so many. I had a pepper top from a bell pepper in the freezer I found, and it wasn't enough. I wish I had more pepper, but you make do with what you can. But that was really tasty. That was my lunch, so took a photo of that. So yeah, check out my cooking if you want to see. I froze because I was doing this stream. I froze most of the meatloaf I made because that'll be good. I'll just take chunks out of it as we go through this season. or this time of me being alone. I'll be able to have that later, and then I'm going to freeze most of the sausage balls here. I'm going to have enough for dinner tomorrow, but I'm going to freeze most of it. And my twice baked potatoes feature 4 potatoes, but I'm also 8 halves, but I'm only going to cook 2 halves the full amount, and I'm going to have those tomorrow. And then the rest of the potatoes, I'm not going to twice bake. I'm going to show you how to prep it, but I won't actually put those 2 in the oven. I'll just have them frozen, and then I'll just have to reheat them later for whatever time it is. I think it's 10 or 15 minutes. So that way I don't have to eat them every day, because that was the mistake I made when I make a meatloaf. Generally, I make this mistake. And when I did my stovetop mac and cheese, I made that mistake where I didn't do where I just refrigerated all of it, and then I was like, oh, now I have to eat this mac and cheese, and I made a whole portion for several people, and it was every day I was having mac and cheese, and that's not a problem if you really want to eat only mac and cheese, but I like to mix things up now and again. Also, because I am living alone, thinking about my meals and making sure that I have a lot of variety in my meals is a thing to keep my mind occupied. So I'm in a big favor of doing that. Keeping the brain occupied. Okay, we're gonna chop up a little bit more of this. We'll get a little bit more in here, and then we'll call this quits. It feels very weird to be using the headset microphone again. As you know, I have been using a USB mic on a swing arm, and it feels very strange to have swapped back to this because I'm just not used to it. So it has been interesting to go back to this microphone. It's nice because I have a lot of freedom of movement, but I do miss that microphone. It's a good mic. All right, so we'll put that in there. And we're going to save some of this Talmuk, which is fine. I am going to quickly here put my cheddar cheese that I'm not using back in the fridge, along with this shredded, which we did not have to use, which is great. Because as I said, this shit doesn't melt great. It just doesn't. They put in some stuff. I'll talk as I walk over here. They put in some stuff to preserve it, which is good that they preserve it, but also bad because it's just not great for melting. It's fine in like a good high temperature thing, like I said, an omelet or something like that. It will melt, but in cooking, often it does not melt as much as you would like it to. Okay, so we are done with this, which is great. Put that aside. Put that in the trash bowl. Okay, so we'll take this over here. We will need this later, or right now we don't. We've got our 2 cups of Bisquick, or equivalent. You do you. I got the real good stuff because I have plenty in the box after this 2 cups, and I will use more of it to make waffles or pancakes or muffins or something. I'll make something with it. I got the whole box and I only need 2 cups for this. All right, salt and pepper to taste, and then we will be adding the final ingredient, which is our seasoning. As I said, you can use paprika here, chili powder, garlic salt, Mrs. Dash, whatever you want to use, you can use in this as your seasoning. I have one particular thing that I will be using, which I hope you'll be excited about because I'm excited about it, and that is everything bagel mix. Everything bagel seasoning. It's the stuff that's on top of your bagel when you get an everything bagel. They sell it separately. My dad bought this, and I was like, "This is the best thing that you've ever purchased for the kitchen." Let me read what its ingredients: sesame seeds, salt, dehydrated garlic, dehydrated onion, black sesame seeds, poppy seeds. That's it. So it's bagel seasoning. This is great in eggs. If you're making an omelet, you can throw some in there. It's great in salads. I also enjoy taking this lovely stuff and putting it on the inside of an everything bagel to make it extra everything. Whatever condiment you're using, like mayonnaise or ketchup or mustard or whatever you're putting on your bagel, you can sprinkle that on there to keep it together if you're making a sandwich or something like that. Or I guess you could do it. You wouldn't want to put it on the bagel and in the eggs if you were making an egg sandwich. But let's get a tablespoon here. We're going to be doing a tablespoon of our everything bagel seasoning. And we don't want to go too much of this, but that'll be good. And there we go. And now we're going to start combining it. I'm going to start with a spoon. If I don't like what's happening with this spoon, I will switch to my hands. But my hands, it's going to be rough because then I got to wash them, and I don't really want to go over to the first of all, this isn't going to reach, this cable's not going to reach that. So also because I have dry ingredients and not much wet ingredients. Our wet ingredients is our pork, which sounds awful, but it's true. I am afraid that we are going to have this bowl, things are going to come up in this bowl. So I am going to be very careful about combining these. And we need this tablespoon anyway, because this tablespoon is going to be how we make a little balls here. Because I do not have like a I guess you would use like an ice cream scoop thing. We don't have that. I don't have that here. So I will try to put this ingredients in here. As I said, if there was a wetter ingredient that wasn't just the pork, or if I was dealing with even a bigger bowl than I have here, which is still a very large bowl, then it would be probably easier to combine this together. Delta says, hi, I'm in the middle of my stream, so I can't stay, but this seems so soothing. I hope you have a great stream. Well, thank you very much, Delta. Let's see, can I do this? Give Delta a follow. Yes, please give Delta a follow. Lots of Sonic stuff. Just cool vibes. Just a great person that you should be following. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I got the keyboard over here, so I can do this. Yeah, so, all right. So I think we're going to have to switch to the hand method because this isn't combining in a way that I would like. So we'll do that with the old hand method. We will keep the spoon because we do have to combine them together. So we'll put that over there. And I got paper towels, so we'll just go with the paper towel method. So we are going to be scrunching and smoothing here. We're not going hog wild with it. Haha, get it? Hog wild, pork. Because we don't want our dry ingredients to fly out of the bowl. All right, have fun. I hope you enjoy your stream. Hope it's going great. But thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Anyway, we're going to combine these ingredients as best we can. Will we do a perfect job? No. Will we do an okay job? Of course we will. Here's the great thing. While a bunch of you are watching this now live or watching this later, archived on my YouTube, or later in the VOD for the next, 14 days or whatever it is that they're up there. I'm the only one who's going to eat this. So it doesn't have to be great. Now, I'll probably put them in the freezer. Maybe they'll last until my parents come back, and maybe my parents will also enjoy this lovely meal. But I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that's going to eat this. So it doesn't have to be great. It just has to be good for me. And if you make this yourself, if you follow the recipe, or you make some changes for your own, let me know. I always like hearing from friends about how this goes. So we're going to try to knead this together. We're looking for it to not just be pork. We want to combine these ingredients together. We're hoping the stickiness of the pork binds us all together because there is no liquid binding agent for this, as I said. And we got our oven. Our oven is preheated and ready to go as soon as we're ready to start scooping these out. So we are going to start to combine them together. If I want to, I could add water to this, but I think this is going to be fine. I think this will be okay. These are going to be pretty dry when they come out because of the seasoning and all that, and the Bisquick. Lasper couldn't make the joke earlier because you were washing masks, but now we're going to get the joke. Twice baked, twice everythinged bagel instead of the twice baked potatoes, twice everything bagel. Indeed. Yes. Yes. If you put everything bagel powder in your seasoning in your everything bagels, you get twice everything. Indeed. So these are going to be pretty dry. Now, what will these be good with? What would you want to serve this with? Well, a barbecue sauce, ketchup, perhaps. Also, because pork is good with some fruits, an apple chutney would be fantastic with these, like maybe hot up or cold apple chutney. You could also go with like a blueberry or a boysenberry, because those also go pretty good with pork, which I know sounds weird, but believe me, it works. Even a maple, like a maple syrup, might be good with these. But yeah, you got a bunch of different options when it comes to these sausage balls. Okay, getting a little bit of stuff here on the ground, fortunately. We're almost done incorporating this. I want to see less of this Bisquick just hanging out, and I want to see more of it coming together. So we're going to keep working this. And we don't have to worry about this. This isn't a dough. So it doesn't matter how hard we're working it. It's actually probably better that we're working it hard because we are trying to get everything to stick together because we don't want to see just Bisquick with cheese at the bottom here. We want to really incorporate this, so we are going to get our hands dirty. I did wash up this counter, so I am not worried about that. And I think we're almost ready to start balling this up. Yeah, because I'm seeing a few big chunks of cheddar and a little bit of Bisquick, but that's okay because it will stick to everything. So I'm going to get our sheet pan here. Sheet pan right there. And I'm going to get a paper towel. Try to rub some of this off here on here because we do need to spray our baking sheet down. We got to spray our baking sheet. But I do want to first clean up a little bit here. Just a little bit. It'll make life easier in the long run. We got our bowl for garbage. And then we are going to use cooking spray. We'll be using our cooking spray here and just kind of coat. And we're also going to coat the balls when they're done. You could use olive oil for this. I'm just using, cooking spray from Food Line. Whatever. Nothing fancy. But again, you could use anything there. Like I said, you could use olive oil and rub the pan and then rub the tops of these. So we're going to use the spoon into the rolling method here. And we're just going to make balls. And then we're going to spread the top of the balls here with our cooking spray before it goes in. And then we'll set our timer for 25 minutes. How are we doing on time? Did I too? 9:40. Great. I would love to get something in the oven in 10 minutes. So we'll see if we can get something in 10 minutes. If not, that's okay. But I would like to get this in the oven in 10 minutes. It's going to take a little while because we are going to roll a pound of meat up here. I'm not being too precious with these balls. I would like them to hold their consistency. Mostly, I like them to hold their consistency so I can take them off this foil here without it being a fucking problem. Again, I have eaten this exact recipe with actually a little bit more cheese probably, but I think they probably didn't use 4 cups anyway. But I have eaten this exact recipe. I have not made this dish before. I've made the twice baked potatoes before, but I have not made these. So these are all like a fun experiment. But as I said, I didn't say this. The meatloaf I made this week, I used less of breadcrumbs than I did on the stream. So if you look up the archive of Prepare with Baer, that recipe, I'm cutting back on the breadcrumbs. This was a family recipe that I had augmented quite a bit on my time, and I'm finding I don't like the breadcrumbs as much. Also, that much breadcrumbs you don't need if you are using the kind of like Parmesan cheese. If you're not using fresh Parmesan, if you're using like the canned Parmesan, that's got a lot of additives in it. So you actually don't want to use as much breadcrumbs because it's actually that kind of is a good binding agent. Whereas if you're doing actual fresh Parmesan that you're shredding, that is not that much of a binding agent. So it's just all give and take, and you figure your stuff out. People have said to me, they're like, "Oh, I didn't use Worcestershire sauce at all, and I didn't even notice it. I used barbecue sauce," and I'm like, instead of ketchup on the top, and I'm like, "Okay, I would never do that, but sure, that sounds great." Or people are like, "I didn't use any ketchup because I'm covered in gravy," and I know that's a big popular thing, but I don't ever use gravy on my meatloaf. But I know some people really love that shit. So we're going to get some balls together here. I might not actually do up all of this. I might just cover some of this and cook it up another time, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. We're going to see how it looks in 7 minutes from now. Because in 7 minutes, I want to put this in the oven, because that'll be 10 to 10 on the clock. I should have prepped a tweet saying, like, we're moving on to the twice baked potatoes or something like that. And I didn't do that because I don't really want to use my keyboard anymore now that I have started touching raw meat. I would like to stop using everything except my Stream Deck. That's the only thing I want to use, so I can go like, hey, it's me, I'm over here with my Stream Deck. Now, if I use my laptop, we wouldn't have the Stream Deck at all, because that would be a thing that I would have to set up the software and all that and like load in a profile and do all kinds of shit. I wouldn't want to do that. Harold says, good night. Have a great stream. Catch you later. Harold, thanks for being here. Always appreciate it, my friend. Also, I should mention, we are currently at 45 out of 50 subscribers. Would love to get to 50. Forgot to mention that earlier. Want to put that in there. Obviously, you can see that. You don't need me to tell you that that's the number. But yeah, we're at 45. Would love to get back up to 50. Also, going to throw it out there. I know January has been light for a lot of people. I am no exception to that, but was hoping that we would have a few more friends with us tonight. It's okay that we don't, but was hoping we'd have a few more friends, because I will say this, folks, this is a fucking lot of work setting up this. This is not me like playing a video game, like whatever. Like loading up a video game and having OBS work is way easier than getting a cooking stream together. So I'm happy you all are here. I'm not mad at you, but I am slightly sad that that the turnout is not as good as I would have hoped. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And if you're watching this later after the fact because you can't watch live, hey, I appreciate you too. All right, so let's see here. Let's try to minimize this and make more room here, because we don't need to separate this. This isn't like cookies. These aren't going to like flatten. They are going to like, they're going to flatten a little bit, but yeah, like I said, we don't have to space them like we're making cookies or anything. But we don't have a little bit of room because we don't want them like clumping together when they're in the oven. Although they could clump together and who cares, but this is the biggest baking sheet that I've got in this house. The other one is like a broiling baking sheet, and I was like, or baking pan, and I was like, I'm not going to jump to that. That's too much. So I'm working with what I got, which is this size of a baking sheet. I got like muffin tins. I could have filled them up and made like meat muffins, but I don't even like saying that right now, let alone doing it. But most likely what I'm going to do is I'm just going to freeze the rest of this and cook it up another time. Because we got a few more minutes before I want to put these into the oven. Get this together, and then we'll start getting our potatoes together here. So let's get that ball together, and then we'll do one more row of balls, and then we'll get these into the oven. Okay. Because I can just saran wrap this and literally throw the bowl right in the freezer, but I'll most likely can put it in a different container so I can wash this bowl. Or I could put this in the fridge with saran wrap and then just bake it tomorrow and get another batch of these done. And I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. So if you make these at home, get a bigger baking sheet if you want to do the whole pound at the same time. Here's the thing I learned. I get to learn something. You get to learn something. This is too much recipe for this size of a baking sheet. Why did I think this would work? I don't know. I did. I just thought it would be enough. So, because I still have a good amount left. And that's okay. So put this over here. Yeah, and I'm probably going to bake that. I'm going to put it in saran wrap, put it in the fridge, and tomorrow I'm going to bake it, and that'll be fine. Got to do cooking shifts, indeed. Okay, so we're going to need that for another thing. Let's spray this here. We're going to spray it with our cooking spray. Nice and easy. That way we get a little more spray down, and we get some spray there on our meat, which is fine. And we are at 9:47, so we are going to set our timer here. I'm going to have to enter my passcode over here because my fingers are not accepting that, which is fine. All right, so 9:48, so if it had been 9:50, we're going to do 25 minutes. So that would be 10:15. And so it's actually 10:13. So at 10:13, we'll take this out. I'm just setting my alarm here. Yep, 10:13. That'll come out there. So we can put these in the oven here. There we go. They're in the oven. So we'll clean up a little bit here. Now, we got another thing that we're going to need. Let's start working on our twice baked potatoes. Hell yeah. Let's get our potatoes out here. And we'll get some ingredients. We got our bowl of potatoes. We've got butter, bacon, sour cream, milk. This one's going to be a little more sloshy, which is, I now regret saying that, but whatever. Salt and pepper to taste. I got all my ingredients out here, ready to go. So, this is going to require, I'll now give you the recipe here. Again, it will be in the show description of the YouTube archive. 4 large baking potatoes, 8 slices of bacon diced, 1 cup sour cream, half a cup of milk, 4 tablespoons of butter, salt and pepper to taste, and 1 cup shredded cheddar cheese. So, we are only going to end up, because you can see this small baking sheet here, we're only going to bake 2 of them, because that way, like basically 1 potato's worth, and I'm going to eat that tomorrow. But we have 4 potatoes here, so we are going to cut those. You could combine this all together in a food processor, which I do not have. So I will be using a potato masher and a spoon to do this. So we are going to have these at first. You might be able to notice here, you might say to yourself, Pat, these do not look like 4 large baking potatoes. These are different sizes. These are russets. Would I prefer to use Idaho potatoes for this? Yes. Would I recommend you use Idaho potatoes instead of what I'm using? Yes. Did I have Idaho potatoes? No. So I used what I had. So again, we're going to have these, and then we will scoop them. So we'll have them and scoop them. We're just going to put them like that. And I'm only going to cook 2 of these as a twice bake. These have been cooked. All these potatoes have been cooked because they're easy for me to chop. And you're like, Pat, this seems very easy for you to do. That is because I've already cooked these for an hour at 350 degrees. 350 degrees, that's how much you're cooking your other item. How convenient. Yes, these are excellent to pair together because they require the same amount. So we can put them in together at the same time. So we are going to scoop these out here. Leaving the skins, we're going to do our best to leave these skins completely fine, so so that we can fill them easily. Now, Idaho potatoes, you might be able to leave a little potato behind at the bottom. We are going to leave some potato because it will keep the structure of this together nice and easy. So we will leave some potato in there, and we will scoop most of it out. And then we will add our wet and dry ingredients. So we will just get some of this out. We're going to leave some of the potato in, and that's fine because it will keep its rigidity that way. And, you know, they're twice baked because we baked them once. So we will go in there, scoop out our potato. And then, of course, we'll mash all that anyway, so we can leave some. And we want to try to keep this shape because it just make it easier to fill our scoops up later. We could actually probably get a little bit more out of here, but we don't need too much. That doesn't really matter. It's fine because we'll be scooping them in anyway. So let's get those there. And this has got kind of a gross spot on here, so we can just scoop that out. That's just an eye of potato. It is totally okay. We'll just scoop that out and put it in our trash. And it'll be just a little harder to... I should have checked for that. I didn't check for that, but it's okay. We're just going to scoop it out. And it will make it so that this will be a little tough to fill, so I will do it on my own time, and this will not be one that we pick. You always got to check your potatoes. I thought I did. I didn't check it fully. It's okay. It's all right. It doesn't make a bad potato by any means. It just means it'll be a little harder to fill. I will fill all of these up. It's just that I won't be baking 6 of these halves. And I will leave that up to future Pat to do. I will just put them in a container and freeze them because I will be eating these for quite some time. Rules. We got a little bit of skin there. As I said, this was the one that was bad, and this is just going to be an annoying one to fill, and it's going to be okay. So I will leave probably a little bit here. So probably the last one I eat of all of them. There. Get some really good looking at that. Hello. Oh, I'm very close. I'm very close to the camera. So close to the camera. We'll just do it like this. You can really see what I'm doing here. And what I think is sometimes potatoes aren't quite done when you put them in the oven for an hour, 350, because everything's different. But you're going to bake them again, so it's fine. If you're like, I probably should put this in the oven for a little longer. It's totally okay. And obviously baking it like this made it very easy for me to scoop all this out. And you don't have to get every little bit of it because it does allow as I said, it does allow your potato skins to keep some of their rigidity. And I am going to pick the one that I want to, the 2 that I'm going to eat tomorrow, because I'll have a photo of these tomorrow. I'm going to have some sausage balls and some twice potatoes for dinner tomorrow. That's going to be the plan. As I said, Idaho potatoes will be better for this because they do keep, the skin is stronger on a Idaho potato than a russet, but these are the russet potatoes these are the potatoes I had in the house, and I wasn't going to go out of my way to get a special kind. I did think about it, but in the end, chose not to. So we've got our potato. We're going to be adding our, we're going to add half the cheese. We'll start with half the cheese. I'm going to eyeball it here. I'm just going to do a portion of the cheese, and the rest of the cheese is going to go on top of them. So we'll leave enough to go on top of those and just do about half there. We are going to do 1 cup, half a cup of milk. Here's a half a cup of milk going in there. We're going to do 1 full cup of sour cream. The container that I got the sour cream in, because I put some of it here, the other part of the sour cream I already used to make an onion dip because I had some fresh onions, and I also had a package of like onion soup mix, and so I combined that with some fresh onions to make a very oniony dip, which was great. That was excellent. That was an excellent use of sour cream, which I don't like generally, but do like in dip form. So, because I could not get a 1 cup of sour cream, I had to get it in 2. So, here's another thing we do, because we're not going to be using this like to cover up more sour cream. What you can do is dump some potatoes in there to get the last of the sour cream out. This is a pro tip, and you can just mix it around in there and then try to scoop everything out. And then you also have a little potato left in there when you got to clean it, but you'll get more of your sour cream out of your container. There. Good. Butter is what we need now, and then salt and pepper to taste. That's right. Yep. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of salt, and pepper, my kitchen salt and pepper shakers, which I love very much. Good there. I mean, here's the thing. I'm going to put salt and pepper on these later anyway. So, and then butter, which has been sitting out long enough that it should be easy to incorporate this all. This is 4 tablespoons of butter. I got the thing, and it tells you how much 4 tablespoons is. You just cut it and put that aside, which is great. And then we are going to kind of combine this together with a spoon here, just for a little bit. We're going to do a rough combined. We don't have a lot of dry ingredients in this. This is a very wet thing because, we get a lot of liquid in here. And then we will use the potato masher to kind of really get us together here. And then we'll switch back to the spoon as well. But we're going to mash this up here. This is going to be way more liquidy than our sausage balls, as you can see. I'm going to try to just mash this all together. I want to incorporate everything together and get this so that it is easy to then fill back in with our potatoes. And then I'll get a couple of containers. I got a couple to-go containers here that I'll be putting the extra potatoes in. We'll just get that together now. But basically, we're going to fill these up with potatoes. Then we're going to put some bacon and the rest of our cheese on top. And then we will put them in the oven for, I believe, 10 minutes. Let me double check. Sorry, I should have looked before I told you how long. We will be putting those in for 15 minutes. That's right. 15 minutes. Wow. Really hoped more people would watch this because, as I said, this is a lot of work. Thank you for everybody that's watching now, but I am, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. I'll be honest with you. I am disappointed with the turnout, because this is a lot of effort and a lot of work, and I'm proud of doing any stream I do, but particularly the cooking streams I am proud of and happy that I get to do them. Thank you, everybody who's here. But yeah, would have loved to have more people here for it. All right. So what we'll do is we'll get 2 ready to go, and we'll put those in the oven, and then I will fill the other ones so you can watch that. But we have incorporated everything. This is a good consistency, and everything seems to be put together. So now it's time to fill. We'll just throw a little potato in there. Got a little more potato, a little cheese. Why not? There, let's put that aside. That there. There. Came in late. What is it you're making? Well, Brozard, thank you for being here. We have sausage balls in the oven already, and we're currently making twice-baked potatoes. I took potatoes, had already baked them before the stream. Then I scooped out the potato, added a bunch of other great stuff. Now I'm going to be scooping them back into the potatoes, topping it with some toppings, and then throwing it in the oven. I am going to be doing 2 of these that I will be eating tomorrow, that I'll be cooking the full twice baked. I'll bake them twice, as I said. And the others I'm just prepping for another meal. Yes, if you came into the stream late or at any point and you missed the recipes, the YouTube archive of this will be up tomorrow, and it will have the recipes in the show description. You can also always just send me a message on Twitter or in the Discord to be like, hey, you got that recipe? And I will share it. The link. Let's see. Let's do the small ones because I'm going to eat 2 of these tomorrow. And then the other ones I'm still going to fill. So let me spray our baking sheet here so they come up easy. And then we're going to fill the small ones up. So we're just going to fill this up here. See, nice and gooey. Basically fill it to the top. And then we will place, see here, some cheese on top. I get the cheese, we're all on top there. And we'll place some bacon. They said basically the equivalent of, the recipe calls for the equivalent of 8 strips of bacon. These are bacon bits. This is all real bacon, but it comes in a big package. And I have found that it's not great for like a salad, but it is great in cooking. This is just convenient, and that way I didn't have to cook up bacon earlier, which is fun and great, but also can be a pain in the ass. So I'm just covering this with some bacon. Will this be actually the equivalent of 8? I don't know. But that's what one is going to look like, and then we'll throw those 2 in the oven. Ghost Val says, I've been lurking. This has been pretty good. Well, thank you, Ghost Val. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for lurking. That's totally fine. And then we're just going to scoop this up here. And that'll be good. Yeah, that's going to be great. And we'll do the same thing where we'll take some cheese, sprinkle some cheese on top of this. And then also, if you want, if you're going to make this recipe and you want to put more cheese after it's done baking, just to really, and have it just like coalesce on top of it, you could do that too. So we're going to take our done potatoes, that we have finished, completed, or twice bakes, and we're going to put them in the oven. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit here, put a little bit more bacon on there. And we're going to take our 2 that are done here. I'm going to try to get these so they're not falling over on themselves. Whatever. They're not going to be pretty. They're going to be great, though. And I'm going to put these in the oven as well. So we'll do that now. And, well, my glasses have fully heated up, so I cannot see. I'll just pull my glasses up. The rare Pat Baer with no glasses face. And then I got to put my password in here because my hands are going to be sticky. And then that's going to be for 15 minutes. So that is going to be at 10:18. So we're going to set up a new alarm for 10:18. And that'll be fine. So at 10:13, we take out our balls. At 10:18, we take out our 2 potatoes. While we have the time, we're going to fill up our other potatoes so that we can just go ahead and freeze them. So we're going to put them in containers, and we'll get the rest of this stuff in here. Also, we'll just put as much as we can. We'll overflow them. We'll fill them all up. There is one, obviously, that didn't survive great, so we'll probably do that last because we won't be able to put as much stuff in there as the others. But they can be overflowing, and it's totally fine. Because, honestly, I'm phrasing. We're still doing phrasing. Yes. Whatever. Really, what was I going to say? I would normally only eat one of these with a meal. So the fact that I picked the small one to do 2 is just because I want to show you what 2 look like when you cook them up. And that way, if I'm only eating them, I'm going to eat 2 of them, and it's going to be just enough. More than enough. So we'll put those in there. Put this there so you can see me scoop them out. And if we have extra, we can just cook it up, or whatever. We could just do it on its own, I guess. But we'll scoop everything in here and see how we do once we have scooped everything in. But yeah, I'm just going to put these right in the freezer, and then I'll just pull them out one at a time whenever I feel like having a twice baked potato, because it's only going to take 15 minutes in the oven, and I could do this in a toaster oven. It would totally be fine in a toaster oven. I am using the regular oven here, the stove oven, because it's right next to me, and I'm doing 2 things, so why not? But yeah, you could just do this in a toaster oven, no problem. Convection oven? Sure. No sweat. And we're just going to scoop in some of this stuff here, the extra, because we have extra. Kind of load it up. Why not? Probably could have filled those that are in the oven a little bit more, but that's okay. And scoop up the rest wherever. And then we will put on the rest of the cheese and the bacon, and then I'll put these in the freezer. Because the potatoes have been sitting long enough, they're definitely freezer ready. Everything here is freezer ready. Yeah. So we'll just put this there. Then we're just going to put some cheese here. Probably want a little bit more. I might want a little more cheese. Yes, I am needing more cheese, but luckily I can get cheese. I know where to get some. It's in my fridge. Yes, we definitely need more cheese. So maybe you want to have 2 cups of cheese instead of 1 cup of cheese for this. Your mileage may vary. In fact, here I would have liked to have had a little bit more cheese than I do have. So we'll get bacon on everything, and then I'm going to get more cheese out, and I'm going to do this up because why not? We got the time. We might as well. And then these are going to go into the freezer, and I will be eating them in the future. It'll be great. You'll see them over on twitter.com/PatBaer when it's time to cook these up. The ones that are in the oven right now will be on Tuesday. Or sorry, tomorrow, should I say, Thursday. And the others will be in the future stream. Future cooking. They won't be a future stream. I don't know. Yeah. All right, so let's get a little more cheese. You can hear me as I walk away from the camera. Get a little more cheese out. We're going to get a little bit more of this cheese on our twice bakes. We'll just do this a lot easier. There. And remember that I'm in the camera shot here. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in there. Let me know. Hey, I know some people have made my meatloaf recipes. If you made any, if you've made my potato recipe or the zucchini chips, let me know. I like hearing, or the peanut butter balls. Did you make my peanut butter balls? I have now done peanut butter balls and sausage balls. I know. I'm aware that I have done both those things. A few people were like, hey, do you know that you're not going to be doing 2 ball things? And I'm like, yes, I know. I'm aware. I've done balls and chips. I don't regret either of them. We're still doing phrasing. All right, that was good. Got a little more cheese on there. Do you need to put butter on twice baked potatoes after the fact? You don't have to. Like a square, yeah. You don't have to do that, but you can. I have been known on occasion to on occasion I've been known to put butter on twice baked potatoes. Often the ones that aren't homemade, because those just need a little bit more sometimes. But again, you want to put paprika on there, you want to put chili powder on these, you want to spice these up, you go for it. You go nuts with it. I didn't put any seasoning on this other than salt and pepper. It really doesn't need it because it's already got sour cream. You could put chives on these. I'm not interested in chives. Or parsley. I'm not interested in either of those things. I am interested in putting these Rice Krispie squares. Totally an option, Lucretia. I'm going to put these in the freezer. I'm going to walk away over here to the fridge and freezer section. And try not to get my cord caught anywhere. And I'm going to put these in the freezer. Put them over there. I'll say this. Coming to a future stream near you. Not a stream, my kitchen. You mixing in a bit of mustard. Okay, I like that. Hey, look, it's Steakums. My dad bought me Steakums before he left for Florida. I don't know why he did. The chopped steak sandwich I made today was just chopped steak that wasn't Steakums. It was just a grocery special. But yeah, I got fucking Steakums. And I'm gonna you'll definitely see those photographed at some point, because there will definitely be a dinner at some point in the future where I just don't want to make anything. Because that happens, certainly. I'm not immune to that. There'll just be a time where I'm like, you know what? I don't want to cook anything. And so go do anything hard. So I'll just make a steakum sandwich at some point. And I'm sure that'll be a dinner in the near future where I didn't take anything out and prep anything. Okay. So let's see. What can we do while we wait? We got a little time before our sausage balls come out. How much time? Let me check my times here. Come on. Okay, we have like 2 minutes before our sausage balls come out. We can take a look at those, and we've got a couple more minutes of that before our potatoes are done. So we'll just do a little cleanup here. Just gonna clean some stuff up because I am gonna put this pan right here on the wood because it'll be fine on there. Cutting board will do a great job of holding that up. I got a lot of cleanup to do tonight, folks. Also, Here's a fun thing. I like uploading my videos, the archived to YouTube, the same day that I stream, the same night I stream, so I can send the link out to Patreon as soon as possible, because it's nice to have that. So I can't move my computer back into the Carolina room tonight until I am done uploading. It can be processing, but I'm going to want it to upload it. So I'm basically, while it's uploading, I'm going to be cleaning and washing dishes and washing so many fucking dishes. And then also, I got to wrap up that the pork that I didn't clean up because I'm going to have to do that tomorrow. No, John, unfortunately, don't have that fast of an upload around here. I don't upload the highest quality possible. It's like, it's an hour and a half to 2 hour video and it's only like a gig and a half. So I'm not uploading like the biggest files. I used to upload really big files when I still lived in New York. Also, hi, I'm John. Okay, great. One of our alarms went off, which means we can take out one of our things. So we'll be doing that. I'm going to open the oven and then I'm going to hopefully, is Twitch VOD high enough quality to just transfer from Twitch to YouTube? You can't do that anymore. They took that away. The upload to YouTube thing. I do a local copy anyway because there are a bunch of minutes where just music is playing at the beginning of the streams. Just the other. Okay, I'm John. The last time I went to do that, when I didn't do a local copy, it didn't work, and I had to download it from Twitch and then upload it, so it took even longer. I think it got unlinked after the Twitch hack. Oh, okay. But yeah, it didn't work for me the last time I went to do it. So, all right, let me take these out here. Hold on. Everybody, relax. All right. Nice and easy. Sausage balls. Great. And our potatoes need a little more time, so we'll let our potatoes have a little more time. Okay, so let's take a look at these here. Obviously, these are going to be hot. Yes, salty meatballs times indeed. I don't have a container right now to put them in. I'll put them in a bowl. Again, I am going to freeze some of these that are already cooked. Then tomorrow, I'm going to cook the other ones. I guess I actually could just, do it tonight, but I'll do it tomorrow. And then I'm going to save some of these are going to stay in this bowl here, and I'm going to eat them tomorrow for dinner. But I will eat one now because I do want to know how they taste. So it's time to taste one of these. Take it here. This is going to be very hot, so we'll just we'll give this a second here. I'm going to move my microphone, mute my microphone. Hold on, I'll be right back. We'll go to here, and then I'll be muted. Those are really fucking good. They're hot. That was very hot in my mouth. It wasn't burning, but it was hot. Those are really good. Got a nice consistency. I will say when I reheat them, they're going to be even better because they will be a little more crunchy and not as chewy as they are right now. It's because of the Bisquick. It does it. John says, I'm such a bad cook because if I made a pan of those, I would eat the whole pan tonight. I hear you. I totally understand. So obviously, I didn't cook all of it because I didn't have room in this pan for all of it. So, use a bigger baking sheet or just half the recipe. You could do that too. But I will be taking these. Let's see. I wonder how many will be enough for tomorrow night dinner. Let's see. I'm going to say, 3, 6. Oh, let's go to the overhead. Sorry. Let's go back to the overhead here. I got 3, 6 in there. I got 8. I'm going to say, not a bad cook, just a good eater. There you go. Nice, Aristophan. I like that. Let's say 11. That's going to be my dinner tomorrow is going to be 11 of these. 12. 12 of these is my dinner. The rest are going to go in the freezer, and then I will do another batch that are going to go in the freezer. Yeah, another batch of these are going to, I'm just going to put these in a bag so that I can just kind of break out some of them. Most likely what I'll end up doing is just defrosting the whole bag. So I'm going to do several of these smaller bags of that. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to cook the rest of these up. Got to let these sit for a bit here, come down to room temperature so that I can then put them in the freezer. Because you don't want to throw them in the freezer right now. You could do that, but you shouldn't. And then the uncooked pork, I'm just going to put saran wrap, plastic wrap, I should say. Okay, we can turn the oven off. We're not ready to take those potatoes out, but we can in a second here. You can have a few of them as snacks. Yes, Lord Crashing, you totally can have some snacks. Most likely, like I said, this bag that I just put the other ones in, I will probably end up defrosting that next week and just have them, like, have some of them as a meal and then have some of them next day as a snack. You could heat these up in a pan again. You can just microwave them. You could heat them up in a sauce and just do like that. Like I said, a barbecue sauce. Just put a saucepan of the sauce and then put these in there and just then pick them out when you want to eat them. Or just fucking cover it with a paper towel and throw them in the microwave for a little bit. These are going to be pretty dry if you microwave them. So I would say heating them up in an oven, a toaster oven, or on the stove in a sauce would probably be the best way to go. Also, I didn't even say marinara sauce. How easy is that? Totally simple to just have these with marinara sauce, just your spaghetti sauce that you have in your cupboard. Or if you've got like chunky tomatoes in there or something like that, stewed tomatoes, you could easily make a sauce with these, and that would be fan-fucking-tastic. Put it on some bread or just have bread with it. Those would be great. Very versatile, little fun snacks. But it's time to no, it's not time to duel. It's time to take our potatoes out. So let's get our ovens mitts here and do the damn thing. Again, trying not to have my glasses fog up here. I already did that once. And, ooh, these are ooey and gooey. Great, 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 great. Put this oven in here. And I'll crack the oven door a bit later to kind of let it cool off. Throw our mitts over here. So these are our potatoes that are done. As you can see, they did kind of fall over a little bit. They're not as great sitting up. You could certainly kind of like pack them the way you pack them together, make it so they're a little more flat. But for me, this is totally cool. I am going to eat a little bit of one of these just to have a taste. Again, this is my dinner. This is my dinner tomorrow. So these two things are my dinner. But let me get my knife here. And I do have a spoon here. I can just use a spoon. Again, these are really gooey and ooey and gooey, which is great because they'll taste excellent. But yeah, these are just going to go in a Ziploc or a Tupperware, and they're going to go in the fridge. And then I'm just going to throw this and this, probably in the toaster oven, just for a little bit tomorrow, and put a sauce next to it, heat up a sauce, and that'll be good to go. Or just a cold sauce, either's fine. Add a little butter. Fantastic. And these are going to be very hot. It'll be very hot. Be very careful. I'm going to go back to the overhead here. And I am going to mute my mic. That's really rich and creamy. Really good. Simple. You saw that was incredibly simple to make. Twice baked potatoes. You maybe had them at a restaurant. Maybe you've had them whipped in, not done like by hand like that, but like, in a food processor. So maybe you've had them done more professionally, or you've just got them in the grocery store in the freezer section. And yeah, very simple to make. You could do both these dishes at home. As I said, I did cheat by um, you know, baking these at 100 or 350 degrees for an hour beforehand, so that way I just had to put them in the oven for 15 minutes. Um, do these look spectacular? I don't fucking give a shit. They taste great. I don't care. They're awesome. I'm very proud of both of these things. Very happy to have them. Honestly, what I might just do is put these potatoes just on top of this and cover the whole thing. Don't put them in their own dish. Yeah, just put them here. You know, maybe I want to put them in their own dish because they are going to be gooey and ooey and gooey, and maybe I don't want to put them on top of this. But they're all going to the same place, so I can just do this, and I can just do this, and kind of throw some of the extra on there. And go for it. This is going to be hot, so I am going to get my oven there. And then, yeah, just pour a little bit of the extra there that fell off right on top. There it is. Yeah, and then I'll just put that together. And hey, I made my dinner for tomorrow. So at the very least, this was a successful stream because I got to make my dinner and talk about it, and I got to talk about food in a way that I really enjoy. This is the third of these streams, and I had a lot of fun doing it. We're going to hang out here for a little bit. We are going to go on a raid at the end of the stream. That is what we do at the end of every stream here. Again, if you're watching this later on YouTube, you can find the recipe here in the show description. If you're watching this later on the VOD, or if you're watching right now, hello. It'll be in the YouTube archive, or you can also just tweet at me, and I will link you to that video, and you can see it there. But yeah, these are really goddamn tasty. I'm gonna eat another one. These are just gonna go in the freezer anyway, so I might as well eat them now. You have to. You know what? I'm gonna ball them up. I'm gonna ball up the other ones, and so let's get the oven going here. I shouldn't have turned the oven off. I'm just gonna cook up the rest of them tonight because why am I gonna wrap that thing up and do it tomorrow? We'll just hang out here. My oven's already hot enough. Ah, those are really good. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the rest of these done. I'm going to ball up the rest of this. And I'm just going to bake them up tonight. So why not? I already got the foil on there. Spray it again. We're good. The night is young. Tomorrow's stream, model kit building. We're working on the Zeong. I've got more to do with that Zeong because the arms aren't done. Do I think I'm going to finish tomorrow? Not really. I do think I won't finish that until, I don't know, probably Saturday. During the Saturday stream, I'll finish the arms up. Put a poll up for my $10 patrons. If you're happy to be watching and you're one of my $10 patrons, you can vote on what you'd like to see me build next. I only vote in there if it's breaking a tie, so there's one vote in there, so if you want to be one of the other people votes, some of the $10 patrons don't vote, which is fine. They don't have to, but I would like them to, because it is nice to know. They are giving me $10 a month over there on Patreon, so it's nice. I did fill out my Patreon survey. It was long and annoying, but I did want to write in. There were several times where I could write in my displeasure at the even the possibility that they would get involved in cryptocurrency, the blockchain, or NFTs. So I did make it very clear that I was opposed to that. Because there was a thing like, what's something that like would be a reason for you to leave the platform? And I just put like getting involved in cryptocurrency or NFTs. I was like, that is, because that is going to be me leaving. Like, look, PayPal accepting cryptocurrency, I don't love that shit, but like, I don't have an alternative to PayPal. I have not left Patreon because it is very convenient for people to give me money on Patreon, and that is awesome, and I love it. And it's a pretty good website. It's a bad app, but it's a pretty good website. But if they get involved in crypto bullshit and NFT bullshit, then it's easy for me to bounce and just figure out monthly payments on coffee and really dive in on that. which I don't really want to do because I will lose $70, $80 a month probably, because right now it's about 134, I would say. But if I lose Patreon, not everyone's going to move to coffee. And some people are going to be like, oh, I didn't even know I was still giving you every month. So I know I will lose a lot of money by leaving Patreon, which is why I haven't left Patreon yet. But I'm definitely not going to stick around. I'm definitely, like I said, not going to stick around if they're going to be getting involved in NFT bullshit. I don't need any tweets. I don't need any messages from Patreon about that. Already don't love the service. But I will say, Patreon, at the very least, Patreon backs off. When they put out an idea that people are like, hey, fuck off, they will, if there's enough heat, they will back off the thing that they have announced they are doing. So that's good. I fully expect Discord to have NFT integration any day now, even though when they said it, people freaked the fuck out. I know it's going to come back in. They're just not going to announce it. It's just going to be there, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, we're doing this shit. Please don't please don't get rid of your Nitro. Please, please, please. Oh God, oh God. Well, yeah, they're going to come back to it because there's money, because investors think it's great, so people are going to do it. Companies will do it, even if they don't want to. Even if their social media people who are the most connected are like, oh, please don't fucking do this shit. If you do this, you gotta give us a raise because this sucks. They're still going to do it because investors want to see metaverse and fucking crypto and NFTs, and they like, well, Jimmy Fallon's got a fucking monkey on his Twitter profile, so we gotta do that shit. Just sucks. All right. Okay. We are now ready to spray these and bake these. Spray and bake. So we'll just go. Great. There for now. And this is going to go in the oven again for 25 minutes. You won't see this because we're not going to hang out for that, but you can see me. Rich people trying to bilk money. Yes, of course. Oh yeah, it's all scams. All this shit is scams. It's just very obvious and not fun scams. Like, when I was part of a scam, at the very least, I got to meet people who eventually will be famous, and famous people, and make lifelong friends. My cult/pyramid scheme was fun. And some people in that groups got laid. I didn't, because I wasn't looking for that. But some people got laid. So, like, this is pretty fucking great. 10:30, so at 10:55, I'll take those out of the oven. And then let them cool for a long-ass time. And then put those in the freezer. Because you got to let all this stuff get to room temperature before you do anything else with it. I got a lot of shit to clean up, which I will not be doing right now. I will be leaning back away from this. But that is the stream here, just about. I'm going to check my messages here, which I believe are all going to be stuff about AEW, League of Heels. That's very nice. People talking. It's just nice people were talking about it. Oh, and then people were replying to my tweet. I'll say it. I mentioned it in the comments. Apparently, Song 2 was not the first US hit for Blur. Boys and Girls was a hit and was hit the alternative charts / modern rock charts. And I did not know that Girls and Boys was that big of a hit. I thought that Song 2 was Blur's first hit in the United States. I apologize. I'll say that, didn't know. Now I know more about Blur. But that, do you remember that I put up today is real good. So check that one out. Because I was kind of wondered. This one was just me being like, oh yeah, you know what? I want to know more about Song 2 by Blur. I don't know enough about that song. How did that happen? Because that's not really like what the album is like or what the band is like. How do they make it like a really good song like that? It's not their thing. Anyways, check that out if you haven't. Didn't know any of their songs besides Song 2. Yeah, there you go. They had another hit. Anyway, we're gonna raid. That's what we do at the end of every one of our streams. I don't know the next time I'm gonna do a cooking stream, friends, because if the turnout for a cooking stream is going to be as much as a video game stream or a Pat Bear's Anime Club stream, then I'm going to do those because those don't require all of this fucking setup and effort and tearing apart my kitchen and then putting my kitchen back together. That's not going to happen again. So I don't know if I'm going to do this again, but thank you for being here for it. We are going to raid, as I said. We got to raid. And see somebody else out there. But my next stream tomorrow, working on the Xeon model kit building. So tomorrow I got to reset up all this shit so I can do it again. Let's see. Oop, I'm can hear myself there. I don't know. I don't think you could hear me, but I can hear me. We're gonna go raid. Hey, she's great. We're gonna go raid the lovely, wonderful Heather, aka Lunar Jade, who is streaming Neo, The World Ends With You. So we're gonna go. We've raided her before. So spoilers if for that, because she's not, she's playing, I think, late game right now. But we're gonna go raid Lunar Jade, aka the lovely Heather, who is just a fantastic person. And I miss seeing her in person. Anyway, thanks so much for watching the stream. I'm a little down on it, but I had a good time doing it. I had fun with cooking. There'll be a photo tomorrow of me heating everything up and with probably what's left of my homemade barbecue sauce and eating that up. So thanks for being here. Thanks for letting me experiment. I appreciate it very much. We're going to go on this raid. Have a great night, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.